They say King Alaric did not fight like a man that day. He fought like a storm trapped in steel. Every thrust was a painted masterpiece of red and rain. Gee, we threw our bodies together, iron against iron, a wall of flesh to protect the crown. But what is a wall against a rising ocean of darkness? We were drowning and we didn't even know it until he stepped forward, Gorgos, death-given form. Across the bodies, their eyes met. No fear, only the silent understanding that one of them would not leave this mud. And then the circle broke. Panic is a cold hand pushing us forward. The mud sucks at our boots, trying to hold us for the slaughter. Bjorn stands as the gatekeeper, shoving desperate souls into the safety of the stone. I turned to buy them time. One last parry against the encroaching shadow. Then, a sharp, biting fire. The arrow finds its mark, and my world stumbles. My strength fails, but Ilara is there. She will not let me fall. With a thunderous crash, the timber slams shut, severing the beast from its prey. We are trapped, but we are alive. Silence returns, broken only by the ragged breath of the living. Hope is a flickering torch. A boy weeps in the corner, his shield forgotten. Outside, the Horde is a sea of dark fur and hunger, swarming, unopposed, inside. We wait for the end. General Bjorn holds the door with a hand of iron, but even iron breaks. Yet amidst the dust and the dread, the lion does not yield. He pushes away the pain. He pushes away the doubt. The king stands, not as a ruler looking down, but as a warrior looking out. The fear in the room dies, replaced by his fire. The king, start the line intimately, almost a whisper, and raise the volume on pay, ending with a shout on blood. Splinters fly, and the warlord steps through the dust, a crown of iron, a heart of stone. His legion floods the hall, suffocating the last of the light. I summon every ounce of rage. I will not yield. I charge the mountain. Our weapons clash, a thunderclap of steel and sparks. But he is too strong. The impact crushes my chest like paper. I hit the ground, breathless, broken. The ringing in my ears drowns the battle. I watch my banner fall, and with it, the kingdom dies. The shadow lengthens. Death walks towards me with heavy iron steps. My vision fades to gray. The monster is the last thing I will ever see. The hammer rises, a dark judgment, suspended in the smoky air. I close my eyes. I have failed them all. Forgive me. The world holds its breath, waiting for the crushing blow. But then, a light breaks the gloom. Why is he looking at the sky? The beast freezes, and a cry cuts through the doom, piercing the silence. The darkness was absolute. The warlord believed the day was won, but he did not hear the wind change. A king knows the sound of salvation, and light will always find a way in. Glass shattered like the enemy's hopes. The sky itself had come to claim the keep. On the ramparts, weary hearts caught fire once more. The defenders looked up and saw that they were no longer alone. Through the stone spires, the eagles wove a whirlwind of feathers and steel that no monster could touch. The tide had turned, and for the first time in the war, the dark horde knew fear. The black tide of the simian horde was broken. From the heavens, judgment fell upon them with talons of gold and iron. On the walls, the blue scout rained death from above, while the bear of the north reclaimed the gates with fury. The invincible army crumbled. For the first time in an age, the monsters remembered what it was to bleed. Terror took them. The hunters became the prey, scattering into the shadows of the woods like leaves in a storm. And as the dust settled over the stone, the roar of battle gave way to the silence of victory. Cornered in his own keep, the warlord Gorgos was a beast unleashed, wounded but far from dead. The king, broken and weaponless, crawled through the dust, while the eagle danced with death in the shadows. But a king does not yield. With his last ounce of strength, the lion found the beast's weakness, and the Sky Rider delivered the judgment. The crown was crushed. The shadow finally fell. In the silence that followed, there were no words, only the bond of those who had looked into the abyss and survived. The darkness fled back to the shadows from whence it came. The sun rose, not on a graveyard, but on a victory. King and Sky Rider stood as brothers, and those who had fought side by side found rest in the light of a new day. The storm had broken, the castle stood firm, and the skies were free once more. Life returned to the stones. The bells rang out, not in warning, but in celebration. For on this day, the alliance was forged in fire, and the kingdom of ash and sky would live forever.